it was revealed that the new Slimer for the sequel / reboot of Ghostbusters, just have to stop myself from miming something that might get me taken off of the stream, is out, and his name is Muncher, and he is. If someone wants to put a picture of him in the chat here, it'd be helpful, or you can Google him yourself. He is. I don't have a way to show it. I'm sorry. I guess I should draw a picture of him or something. He is green. He is blue instead of green. He has 6 arms instead of the 2, and then he has a face of pure misery. He looks just an embodiment of agony. He looks like one of the damned souls in a Bosch painting. He is pure, anguished existence. He is begging for a death that has already come. As opposed to Slimer, who's like just a big fat party animal who enjoys putting a lot of hot dogs in his mouth. And what's interesting about this to me, and the reason that Muncher speaks to me, is something that a friend of the show, Josh Androsky, said. He said that Muncher is gritty for people who know that it's over. Muncher is a mascot of true hopelessness, because think about the trajectory that you have to do to go from Slimer to Muncher. What is the distinction here? How are we to place the Muncher in context? So first, we have in the original Ghostbusters, we have the ghost himself, the Slimer. And what is the Slimer? The Slimer is a being of pure desire. The Slimer, he seeks to consume. He cannot, not for digestion, not for nutrients, but purely for the pleasure of consumption. And he is presented as such, as a being of a pure expression and desire and lust. The Lacanian subject. What is Muncher? Muncher seeks the same outcome. The Muncher seeks to consume. The Muncher, they are quick to point out, he wants to eat the corn. There is corn behind the Muncher, and the Muncher, he wants to eat the corn. This is key, that the Muncher also, much like the Slimer, he wants to eat the corn. But this is the crucial distinction. The Muncher does not enjoy the consumption of the corn. The Muncher is at no point in finding his pleasure even momentarily satisfied, because he is the simulacra, he is the copy of the original Slimer. His consumption has consumed him. His failure to realize his desires has consumed him and left him unable to enjoy anything. Much as we, the consumer of the programs, of the films, are left to watch the Ghostbusters film, but have none of the pleasure of first watching the Ghostbuster, the original busting of the ghost. Because the Muncher is Slimer emptied of any reason for being. Because Muncher's there because the Slimer was there because he was part of the concept of Ghostbusters that genuinely insane man Dan Aykroyd thought of, and he was a part of that. Muncher only exists because a certain segment of the population has heard of Ghostbusters, and therefore an investment of money into the Ghostbusters franchise has some degree of probability of being recouped at some degree of level that can be put on a piece of paper to mark-to-market accountant to keep the flow of bonds circulating through your corporate entity. That's it. That's why Muncher exists. And so even though he's doing the same thing that Slimer was doing, consumption from beyond the grave, this literal hungry ghost, his pleasure has been robbed of him. And also, the other reason that he is divorced is of pleasure, of any satisfaction, is because he truly is Slimer after 40 years of being Slimer, much as we collectively are Slimer after 40 years of being Slimer. Like America, in its post-70s form, is a place where all questions of democracy, of autonomy, control over one's life, and circumstances of life have been ceded in exchange for credit, basically. And with that credit, the ability to consume cheaply. So what has that left us? It started the go-go Reagan 80s. We were the bright green goblin, stuffing hot dogs in our mouth, exultant in the pleasures that come with unlimited access to cheap goods. Anything we can imagine. It doesn't matter that industrial policy and employment policy and wages are no longer democratic questions, that our control over the pace of and conditions of and substance of work has been lost unless you can make it through the gauntlet of postgraduate education and get some job that gives you some illusion of meaning, even though even there you are fully at the whim of your employer. What we've given that up, that section of human self-realization, self-actualization has been ceded in exchange for consumption. And what have we done? We have consumed. And where has it left us? It has left us at Muncher. It has left us sickly blue, the color of depression, covered in arms to grab desperately, and a face racked in, to quote myself, referring to the baseball crank, another signal of the time, an anguished rictus. And that is why I believe that Muncherism is 21st century Marxism and must be supported against all critics. We love Muncher, don't we, folks? We love him. We love the Munch. Look at this guy. Look at him. He's blue. He's got the arms. Man, he's gone. Have you guys been able to get your head around how fast Trump disappeared?